Okay. Great. Can you under view? Yeah. I think if we go up here. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. Thanks. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Ravitz, and as Charlene said, I'm the Green Team lead within Google's Real Estate Workplace Services organization, and our mission is actually focused on the outcomes we'd like to achieve, which is to support the health and well-being and the performance of Googlers, of our employees. And it's actually really exciting for me to see Kate talk about the guidelines that we've been working on. We've been working on them for so long, and if she's telling all of you about it, they must be real. So that's pretty exciting. So what I'd like to talk to you just a little bit about is provide some context for where Google started, what we've been working on, some things that we think we've learned along the way and that are working for us, and some problems that we've identified where we think we can do a lot better. And my hope isn't to pat myself on the back or to brag to all of you about what we've accomplished, but rather to ask for your help, because I think that we have a long way to go, and I think there are a lot of people in this room who can help us solve problems, and we think that they're problems that a lot of people have, and that we have a huge opportunity to help us all live a little bit better and perform a little bit better every day. So Google, we're a young company. We've only been around, we're about to turn 15 this fall. We're planning a big party. It's going to be exciting. And in that time, we've become very good hermit crabs of buildings. And we haven't built anything from the ground up quite yet. We've taken all existing buildings, like this is what we affectionately call the Googleplex, the heart of our headquarters in Mountain View, California. It's just one example of an existing building that we've modified and that works well for us. But that's starting to change. And it looks like these are my old slides, but we'll just go with that. We are in design right now. Actually, we're just breaking ground on a campus that will be just over 1 million square feet, our NASA Bayview, or it's on NASA land. It's our Bayview campus. And we've realized that brings a whole new suite of opportunities for us, that we don't have, as Kate was mentioning, those same constraints that we do on existing buildings or small renovation projects, and that we can think very differently about how we can address some of the issues and opportunities that we'd like to be able to touch in our buildings and for our people to have a positive impact on them. And just to go back to what we've done today that we'd like to build on, we've been able to take a lot of buildings. This is the building that I work in Mountain View. It's pretty small from the outside. It's an unremarkable early 80s, typical Silicon Valley tilt-up building, very cheap, pretty bad. And we've been able to take it and bring light into the middle of the building and open it up and create great spaces for people. You wouldn't know what a bad building it is when you go to work there every day, and I really enjoy spending time there. And we've created great places for people to come together and collaborate and give them what they need to do their jobs. As a technology company, speed is really important to us, and innovation is really the engine of our business. And we've found that that's not really something you can schedule. So we need to engineer into our spaces as many casual collisions as we possibly can. You know, that idea someone mentioned earlier today that Steve Jobs was hiding away bathrooms, right? Well, we do that too. And we put all sorts of spaces in our buildings and try to create opportunities for people to interact with each other, especially sometimes software engineers who don't like to always talk to each other, right? And so this works really well for us, and throughout our portfolio, we have a lot of examples of different spaces like this. And we want to bring fun to the workplace too, make them spaces that are enjoyable and will spur creativity, bring in things like natural light and some of the things that work well for us. And you know, we actually as an organization are talking a lot about biophilia now. We're rolling out biophilia design guidelines. Well, 4 years ago, no one was talking about biophilia in our organization, well, except for maybe me and a couple others. But we had example after example like this of bringing in elements of nature into our workspace just because it's good design, and we can see this throughout our portfolio. And we have to create spaces for people to, you know, go away and have a private phone conversation, right? Like in our Zurich office here in this repurposed ski gondola, or just to go somewhere to do some heads down work where no one's gonna bother you. This was actually built on site out of vines, and there's but you can't see there's a sprinkler head in there even. And then a place to get away from work and to take a break from the computer screen and to have fun with some of your coworkers. Ping pong is taken very, very seriously within the real estate organization, so bring your paddle if you ever come to visit me. And just to take the friction out of people's lives, that everyone is busy and they work hard, and how can we make them want to come to work and make it a pleasant experience and somewhere that they want to be, and to simplify some of those things that are complicated for all of us in our lives or just take up time but don't add much value to us. So, this is where I start my day every morning in the micro kitchen with a cup of coffee, a bowl of cereal, and a banana, and that's all there for me for free every day. And I really don't take that for granted. And it's something that works really well for us and provides a lot of value, we think, to our business, but also something that has become part of our culture and is really appreciated by our employees. And something else that we've known for a long time is that the air we breathe is very important. And that's been emphasized to us by our leadership from the very early days, and it's driven things like site selection, even the buildings we pick. We'd rather be upwind from the highway, looking at ventilation and filtration practices for a long time, even before we're doing what we do today, and figuring out how can we actually monitor and test performance. And I'm excited that we're figuring out even more rigorous ways to do that and to really measure performance and try to collect data across the portfolio that's more consistent. And Kate also mentioned our Healthy Materials program as well, using tools like the Pharos Project and now the Health Product Declaration to demand transparency from manufacturers so that we can understand what's in products and so that we can avoid known or suspected toxins whenever possible and just not bring them into our workspace at all. We've been designing great places for people to come together to eat food and enjoy food for a long time. That's also been part of our culture. I already talked about breakfast. Well, here's lunch and dinner. This is some new cafe space in our Tel Aviv office. And it provides an opportunity not just to save time for, from having to go out for lunch, but it gives people a break during the day, and it doesn't just feed people and give them more time to do more work, but it creates an opportunity for there to be a better sense of community, for people to come together and talk about the movie they watched with their kids last night or the really hard problem they were trying to solve in the office that morning, and maybe seek some advice from coworkers, or maybe come up with that new idea that's the next billion-dollar product for our company. And we quickly realized as food became a big part of our culture that we were also having an impact on the choices that people made and on their well-being, on their health, and their waist sizes, right? So we started to think carefully about how we offered that food to people and what we were offering them, and how could we make the healthiest choices the most appealing and make them, nutritious, delicious, and, easy to make really good choices when you come to work. And how could we put the fruit front and center, right? Maybe move the M&Ms down to the bottom shelf and put the healthy choices and make them most appealing. And you start at the salad bar. This is our cafe in Tokyo. And fill up your plate with salad before you get to the burger and fries. Not that the burger and fries aren't still an option, but at least to really design the best choices for people and to, I believe it was Matt who used the word earlier, to nudge them. That's something that we talk about. How can we nudge people to make better choices? And how can we get them to move throughout the course of the day, casually in the workplace even, creating opportunities for if you're someone who doesn't want to go to the gym every day, maybe between meetings, you just take a little breather and play some basketball in the workspace or, join a dancing group, right? And it's not just an opportunity to be active, but again, to engage with the community and with other coworkers. And so trying to figure out as many ways as possible to do that. I was out to dinner with some folks last night, and I was telling them that I recently got an email from our fitness team about a new opportunity for a lightsaber class, which I don't think I'm the demographic they're after. Civil engineers aren't as big on Star Wars as the computer engineers, but I'm sure it's oversubscribed. And just creating lots of different opportunities for people to come together and to be active in whatever way that they want, or to engage with their coworkers and with our community. And really what it's all about is within those different programmatic areas within our real estate organization, we've started to organize more around the behavioral outcomes that we'd like to see around health and performance rather than around the programs and services that we're providing. And we're trying to think that way in terms of our buildings as well, but we, again, are having a hard time understanding what those outcomes are or how we measure them. So we've got a long way to go. And so we're really just getting started, and we hope that we can take our offices and our people and find ways to make them happier, healthier, and to perform better every day, not just to write more lines of code faster and better, but so that when you go home at night, you have more energy to play with your kids, and that you feel better every day. And hopefully with some of this data, we can start to imagine what does the workplace of the future look like that really does best support people. And maybe it's something more like this, like this room we have, this actually exists in our Zurich office, who knows? So we'll see. Thank you very much for your time.